everybody, we're back and it's episode 20. We're back and we're back with a vengeance. All right, so as you guys know, we've had a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
We had a death in the family.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of business meetings. We had some traveling. We had some home renovations where Tate loves the new appliances, which is cool. Just when you do home renovations or if you fix things up around the house, you fix one thing and then something else breaks. And you're like, what the fuck? Then you fix that thing and then something else breaks. And you're like, I hate being a homeowner. I hate being a homeowner sometimes. It sucks sometimes.
It does.
Only a little bit. Most of the time it's good.
Yes. There are its cons, and that's fine.
But here's how I look at it. If these little things don't start doing this, we won't fix anything. We'll just rock that shit till the wheels fall off. Huh.
Yes. And I believe these renovations were due.
No, for sure. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If these things didn't start breaking, I don't know. I'm only here to eat, sleep, and shit, and then we're off to the races again. So I know people who they are always fixing something or renovating or changing paint or wallpaper or carpet or something. Yeah. And I was like, man, I wish I had that kind of endurance.
I had a buddy that I used to work with, and that was his hobby. He loved to do woodwork and stuff like that, and so he would renovate his house probably twice a year.
Yeah,
he'd change
who
a room.
the fuck has time, let alone patience and money, dude? I mean, obviously, if you need to fix stuff, that's why you have an emergency fund, right? But God, boring. When I come home, I'm not trying to fix shit around my house. I'm trying to sit on my ass and binge watch Love Island.
I don't know where that guy found the time. He was working more than 40 hours a week.
Was this your sheriff buddy who lived up here on the hill?
Yeah, he just loved to renovate. That was like a hobby of his. But he changed his, I've worked with him for almost 15 years, and he changed his living room in the 15 years I knew him probably 10 or 12 times.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But you know what else I know about your friend, which is perfect for what we're going to be talking about today?
Yeah.
He didn't do any of the kid shit.
No.
His wife did all the stuff with the kids. Yeah. The parent meetings, the games, the sports, the whatever, the church stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
That's why he got to renovate. I think that was his escapism.
I think it was. I could also be his identity. Mm-hmm. That's what he absolutely loved to do. And he did. He talked about it all the time.
Boy, are we going to talk about that today. So I'm excited about that. But before we get into that, share with the ants what happened at Costco yesterday.
Costco.
Didn't someone accost you in Costco?
Costco is I'll share that Costco. I wanted to share a different one. Okay. I want to share the one when we went shopping. Okay. Me and you, we went to the mall.
Share it. You don't need to tee me up. I already know about it. Tell your story.
Yeah. We were just coming from eating. No, we were coming from shopping. We went to eat first, then we went shopping, and then we were on our way back to the car.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Do you remember? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're walking back to the car. No big deal, right? The lunch was awesome. The shopping was awesome. Everything was fun.
Well, it wasn't fun, but I'll get into that in a minute. But
right. So we're walking back to the car because we're done, and there's a gentleman approaching us with I believe his girlfriend. And we're walking alongside him and he's staring at me from far away. And then the first thing I think of, like I always do when people stare, is they're going to say something. If they don't say anything, they're just going to keep staring at me as they walk by. But this was a guy and he's a guy. So he's going to say something.
What is a guy? What is that?
This is what guys tell me every time they see me at the gym.
These are your bros.
On the gym or on the street. And
bros before hoes, man. Is that one of those guys?
They don't say that.
Yes, they do.
I've never heard them say that. Bros before hoes to me.
Well, not to you, but I'm just saying that stereotypical.
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the funny thing is, before you finish your story, is as they were approaching us, because we were like an outdoor shopping mall, right? And it was really nice. The weather was nice. We just had a great lunch. Yeah. Had quite an experience shopping, and I'll get into that later. But as we're, walking and they're approaching us, I see him going, like immediately. It's almost like he went, and I go, uh-oh. And I immediately felt bad for you, and I was going to warn you, but he came up on us so quick that I didn't get a chance to warn you. Incoming. That's what we do when we see people. We're with Drew, right, and our little crew.
Yeah.
And I'm facing this way, and Drew's facing me, so someone's coming behind her, and I was like, incoming. That's our thing, right? Because you just see that face going, and they're going to come and, oh my God, you know? And that's what happened. I saw him coming, and he came up so fast, I didn't have a chance to tell you.
Well, I saw him too. And I didn't, I saw the face, but didn't see the face. You know, you could see it, but then I was like trying not to look at it, but you could see it at the corner of my eye. And then boom, out of nowhere, he goes, man, you're big. He goes, man, you're not only big, but you're muscular too, dude. He's like, you're double whammy or some crazy crap like that. And and not only was he telling me that, but he was kind of screaming it.
He was screaming it.
And I wanted to say, hey man, relax.
Yeah. He's like, hey man. I was all right, take it down a notch. You're being a little bit too loud. And I don't care if we're outside. Use your indoor voice. It was pretty bad.
It was bad. I almost got mad.
What do you mean almost?
Well, I always get mad when
he goes.
It always annoys me when people stare, and then it annoys me even more when they say stuff, and then it makes it even worse when you're yelling at me. Because that's what he was doing. He was yelling at me, right? And then so like I feel embarrassed for one, and for two, then I start getting angry because he's yelling, right? And then I have to look at him to acknowledge what he's saying to me, right? And then I just said, thanks, man. Or I just said, I don't know what I said. What did you hear what I said? Did I say anything?
You just went, ha, ha, ha.
I think that's what I said. I can't remember.
You didn't say anything. He was like, good one. Yeah. And I was all right, let's keep going. And then he was walking, and his girlfriend was dragging his hand, and he was looking back going,
yeah, you could.
And I'm like, close your mouth. The gaping mouth was what got me.
Anyways, that I wanted to share that because of how I felt about it. Afterwards, not just that. Like, look, this happens to me a lot. Just being honest, everywhere I go, which is fine. And I it's kind of have that similar feeling where it's not a feeling, but a thought process. Where the one guy said before when I started painting my nails, "Hey, you're putting yourself in that situation." So expect to have these kind of.
Who said that?
Like it was a comment, like when I shared. Oh, it was a comment when I shared my nails on social media, and the guy said, "Hey, you're putting yourself out there, so expect to get this kind of reaction, right?" So, but this is me every day.
Yeah,
this is me going out into public every day. So when you say put yourself, like I can't control me. I can't control how I look, or I love because I love to work out. I build muscle and. Like I can't like the guy's saying I'm doing it to myself on purpose to ask for these kinds of remarks or to ask for these kinds of compliments, and I'm not. The reason why I do all these things, muscles and all that, because I like it. I like it for me. That's it. There's nothing else. So comments are nice. I'm not saying I don't like them, but it's just the way they do it. That's the shit that annoys me. You know
your annoyance right now is every woman, and that's why we choose the bear. A bear versus a stranger in the forest, we choose the bear every fucking time.
Right.
Yeah. So and that's not to say, hey, it's awful for us, so it's got to be awful for you, but it is, and what you experience is what we go through as women every day, except for there's violence behind what happens to us, right?
Right.
It doesn't make it right.
No.
It doesn't. So, like, if it was that guy with his gaping mouth open doing that to a woman, it would be like, ew,
So can I ask you a question then? Right?
Sure.
Like, would that guy, right, the way he looked and everything, he would want me to do that to him? Like, if I saw him,
that's kind of apples and oranges.
And would he want me to?
So a guy like that just feels so free to say that to another strange man that he's never met before. Yes, he would, because he feels comfortable enough to accost you and say stuff like that, right? Commenting on your body, which is never a good thing. I don't care if you're, however you identify, it's not okay to talk to people about their body. Yeah. Right. So if the roles were reversed, yes, he would, because he was like 5, maybe 5'4", because I was almost looking at him eye to eye, and I'm only 5'3". And he was gooped and gagged about your tallness and your muscles. So my guess is yes, because he wishes he had those two things.
Sure.
So, and people like that who, men rather, like that have short man syndrome is what I like to call it. They will do anything to be looked at, to be perceived, to be famous.
So they would welcome that kind of behavior from another man.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to give it to him. I'm not going to give it to anyone. I'm not going to give that kind of comment to anyone.
But you're a rare breed, honey, and you know this. You're rare in that you keep to yourself. You're polite. You're kind. You have manners. You're respectful. And other men are not. Most men are not like you, right? So my answer is yes. If the roles were reversed and he could have what you have, he would absolutely be looking around for more attention because he has what most people don't. Right?
Sure. Could it be possible that because I'm so big that I don't.
Yeah, because you never had short man syndrome because you've never been short.
No.
Maybe when you were born.
Yeah.
And even then you were 12 pounds when you were 15 pounds when you were born. So you don't see it because you've never had that problem.
Sure.
You've never not had a big stature. You've never not been tall. Now, I mean, for the last 4 years now, you've really developed muscles. You like to wear shirts that have no sleeves. So, it's, people would look at this and go, well, then, like the guy who commented on your nails, well, if you don't like it, then don't do it.
Yeah.
No, that's not how that works.
That's not how that works.
That's not how it's supposed to work anyway.
Yeah.
If I do what I want to do, that's fine. You don't get the right to be rude or obnoxious or, gross and weird.
Yeah.
You don't get to do that to people because you feel like you can, right?
Yeah.
So it's not right.
And there have in the past been people that have approached me properly. Like just the other day at LA Fitness, I had a different experience one time, and the following day I had a different experience, and that was a guy came up to say, "Hey man, I know you get this all the time. I just want to say, you take good care of yourself. You look great. How can I get on your level?" Like it was really nice. And I just told him it took me a long time, man, and it took me consistency, and it took me diet. So it's not gonna happen overnight. You just got to do it you just got to be consistent with it. And he goes, "Thanks, man. I appreciate that." And he left. It was nice. And those kind of guys I will talk to. Those kind of guys I will answer the questions. Those kind of guys I will shake their hand, introduce myself.
Not the ones that go, "Are you natty or not?"
No, I'm not.
You're like, "Shut up." No, I get it. But this is what women go through every day.
Sure.
It doesn't make it right because it's happening to you.
No.
But you're experiencing what we experience on the daily.
Yeah.
Right. And it sucks.
It does.
No matter who, if it's no matter how you present, getting unsolicited, whether it's sexual comments or whether it's comments about your body, it sucks and it's weird. So don't do it. But anyway, I'm sorry that happened to you.
Keep those comments to yourself, man.
Yeah. But
I would rather you just stare. Just stare.
They are staring.
And then
you don't like it. You don't like when they stare and you don't like when they make comments.
No.
So this is why I'm trying to teach you or encourage you to take that power away from them.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that's a fuking chokehold on you right now.
It does.
It feels like it's getting worse.
Well,
and when you start cutting, it's gonna get worse. Just trying to prep you, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll work on it. So you'll try it at least once and then report back to the Ant Army.
I will, I promise.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
This is what being an introvert looks like, guys. But you're trying not to be an introvert and people are ruining that,
I know.
So
and it's another test.
Yeah.
If you will. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's do our handshake. We didn't get to that today. Feels good to be back, guys. Thanks for being patient with us.
Yes.
And thank you for all your kind comments. There were so many comments that said you didn't have to put out we did a greatest hits last week because we didn't have time to film a real podcast or a full podcast. So we appreciate your kindness and your patience, but we're back. And
we do. Thank you very much.
2 ant brags that I want to read. Okay. This first one is from Lima, at Lima 82822. And these were both from TikTok.
Okay.
So as you know, I shut down my stupid Instagrams. I'm gonna try and I'm gonna try. They've been out of commission. I didn't get rid of them. I just turned them off. Right. I logged out of everything for the F5 and mine, and I'm gonna fire them back up this week to see if they're fixed. And if they're not, I'm making new ones. I'm sick of this shit. Anyway. So these ones are from TikTok, and this is from Lima. And she said, "Hi, internet parents. I'm Lima, and her pronouns are she, her, from Canada. I have been an OG aunt of the whole ACU family. Your whole family is so inspiring, and you guys give the best advice. I've had to end a lot of unhealthy, toxic friendships recently, which is a tiny aunt brag, which has left me with not many friends and pretty lonely, but finding Drew and Dason and you guys has helped me feel less alone, and it has made me feel like I have real friends that I can look up to, which you do, Lima. So welcome to the ACU. Drew and Dason have educated me so much and made me a better person. And you guys are truly stellar parents and should be the definition and example of what it is to be a parent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to us and seeing us and giving us your wisdom and amazing parenting tips and tricks. And boy, are you in for a treat today because we have more. I hope I can one day be a fraction of the type of parent that you guys are. I can only hope that I can find friends as amazing, real, and kind like Dason and Drew. Finding you guys on the internet has been the best thing that came out of TikTok for me, and my life has truly changed for the better. Sorry this is long, but big aunt brag. I graduated with my bachelor's in business administration, and I'm doing my MBA now. So yay.
Congratulations.
And I'm so proud of myself, as you should be. And guess what? Your internet parents and your internet siblings are proud of you too.
Yes. Hey, way to pat yourself on the back.
No shit, dude. I always tell you guys, if you don't toot your own horn, no one's going to do it. So toot away. And then she said, anyways, thank you for everything you and your family do. And please keep going because your aunt family loves you guys and we will always support you guys. Thank you so much, Lima. We love you. And we're so freaking proud of you. And let us know how you're doing on your MBA too, because that's a huge feat in and of itself.
Congratulations.
So yay. Thank you for your awesome message. And by the way, for those of you guys just joining us or don't know us or just stumbled upon us, we do have an active TikTok, so make sure you go over there and hit us up. Okay, this next one is from Nicole. Her handle is @NikkiJams. Nikki said, "Hi Noelle, Tate, and AF5 fam. I'm on the East Coast, so I'm getting my day started with re-listening to the episode published on January 16th, 2025, advice wrap up for 2025. Love the pod. You lift my spirits and help keep me motivated. Whenever companies start fighting over sponsoring your show," and in parentheses, they wrote, "which any company that doesn't want to partner with you must be nuts. I wanted to share an app that I think falls in line with some of the goal stacking that you talked about in the wrap-up episode. It's called Finch, so FINCH, and has also been really helpful for me to have little wins of meeting different goals each day."
Wow.
Have you ever heard of this app?
I have not.
Okay. We'll put the what it looks like up here.
Sure.
The picture of the app and maybe like where to go to get it. Finch, like a bird, right? A finch bird. I think other aunts may find it really helpful, but if possible, I would rather that company pay you to promote their app. It's okay. We'll just go ahead and throw it up here.
Yeah.
And then we'll say, hey, we shouted you out like last year. Now it's coming full circle, right? When they sponsor our pod. One day that'll be our goal. I think other aunts may find it really helpful, but if possible, I'd rather that the company pay you to promote their app. It's cozy app or crazy app. I'm not sure what they meant by that, but LOL. But if anything, hopefully you guys and anyone near and dear to your hearts that want an extra push to meet daily goals. So that's kind of cool. So it's a daily goal app.
Yeah.
Have a great day. And thank you for sharing TLC with us on the pod. Thank you, Nicole. That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
And by the way, I love this. Like, if you guys know of things that would help other ants in our little ant army, please DM us and let us know so that we can share it with everyone else. Yeah. That's really freaking cool.
I know.
And I know I've been saying it and sound like a broken record, but our free Patreon is almost ready. It's almost ready, guys. So it'll be ready when we get back from our vacation. We're going to take Donnie Dumps to drink around the world at Epcot. So that there's going to be a vlog on there. And I did talk to the girls and they're going to be vlogging for their Patreon too. So you're going to get double. You're going to get different viewpoints of how our awesome event went, right? Or awesome.
That could get pretty interesting.
It's going to be epic. I'm going to be like, go, go, go. I'm Phil, huh? My son's like, no, leave me alone. I don't want to drink anymore. I'm all, do it.
This is your passage.
This is a rite of passage. Kidding.
Stupid. Don't say.
I would never say that to my son. I would think it though. I'd be like, you don't want to finish that? No.
You're gonna teach him how to drink a tequila shot.
Yeah.
With the salt and the lime and the.
No, he can do that with his friends. I'm too old for that. I like to sip my tequila. No. You know what? I think we already showed him that.
I think I saw him do it the other night with those girls,
didn't
they?
At Livy's party.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's so cute.
I know.
I can't wait. So be ready for that for the Patreon. All right. We're going to get into it, you guys, because we have a really, well, I mean, for those of you who are not parents, this will be good for you to hear so that you're not caught off guard if you ever become a parent.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you who are already parents, you're going to laugh your ass off on some of these and you're going to cry at some of these because you're like, me too. And it's also to give you, you know, validate you in all of this hardness of being.
If any at all, it validates you.
Yeah. And being a parent. So
it gives you great perspective.
Yeah. And you know what? Also, it's not just about being a parent either, although that is what our topic is today, right? Our topic today is like, can you parent without losing your identity, right? Because when you become a parent, it's not about you anymore.
Your identity changes.
Your identity goes, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. That's what your identity goes right out the fucking window, right? But there's hope. But we're here to tell
all
you.
your hobbies and interests, goodbye.
Yeah. Bye-bye. And you have none. You have no identity. And yeah. So we're going to get into that. But I want to ask you a question. At any point of being a parent, and I would presume earlier on when we were younger, did you ever think like, who the hell am I? And what am I doing here? And is this my life? This is it, guys. This is as good as it gets. Have you ever?
I want to say, yeah, many times. most especially when we had to take the kids for an emergency room visit. Like for great examples, Drew, I think, I can't remember how old she was. I think she was still in diapers, but she had fell and cracked her head. I think she hit the corner of a table or something in the bedroom, and then
on your watch.
Yeah. And then she had to go to the emergency room. Stitches. We were like, should we take her? I don't know. It's not bad. We should take her. So we ended up taking her. We're sitting in there, and I'm thinking how this happened, and I'm thinking about, is she okay? Should put stitches, and then I started thinking, man, is this my life? Is this what it is right here? Like I go to work, I come home, I take care of my kids. We go to the emergency room, we take them to doctor visits. Like
it's wild.
Not. I don't think at the time I was complaining. I just think I was stressed. You know, stressed from work, stressed from kids, and I just started having these thoughts like that. But they happened every time there was stress. Yeah, and stress when we had to take care of the kids.
Yeah. I mean, I was like that all the time, whether they were sick, whether they were not sick. It's a lot. And I am going to be biased, and you guys can correct me if you think I'm wrong. But it usually, the bulk of the work usually falls on the mom, right? Sure. Not in every case, 9 times out of 10 case, right? And in our situation, it was mainly because I'm a control freak, and I would take all of those things on. Yeah. And if I needed help, which I would ask, which was very rare, but we know each other so well that you would pick up on, hey, she needs help. She's not going to ask, so I'm just going to do it. Yeah. Remember we talked about that, right? Yeah. Your strong friends, check in on them because they're never going to ask you for help, that kind of thing.
I think I just was behind you.
Yeah.
That the whole time.
And I'm like this, spinning all the plates. I'm spinning all the plates in the air. And I got it. No, I got it.
No,
like this.
That's what I'm saying. You're saying.
Yeah. And then he's still going, trying to, catch the falling plates, right? Yeah. But all that to say, it does fall the majority on the mom. And I don't know if it's like for you guys, if it's because you're a control freak like me, or because you have a partner that just doesn't help, or weaponizes their incompetencies. Like, well, I don't know how to do that. How do you change a diaper? What do you mean it's my turn to feed at 2 a.m? You're like, get the fucking bottle, like that kind of thing. Like weaponizing their incompetencies. And it's not just the male parts, the male counterparts. It could be the women too, or whatever. It's just, listen, get your shit together, right? So for me, I'm a control freak. So like I would try to take everything on. And many, many times I've had that thought, right? What am I doing? Is this my life? Like but the one I can remember the most is when Donovan shit in my mouth.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
It was pretty bad.
That was a bad morning.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
Mind you, here's another fun fact. We didn't know he was lactose intolerant when he was little. So I breastfed all 3 kids. So with him, for like 3 months, he just didn't have solid poops. And I kept taking him back to the pediatrician. They're like, well, with newborns, that's just kind of how it works,
Yeah.
And then finally, a nurse practitioner that was, she was filling in kind of like a substitute at the pediatrician. She, because she worked at the other office, and then she was in our office, and she goes, well, have you ever thought of maybe he's lactose intolerant? And I go, huh? I don't fucking know. You're the doctor. You're the nurse practitioner. Shit.
Yeah.
And so she said, why don't we start supplementing with formula. But plus, I couldn't keep up with that kid. Donovan was a fucking monster, dude. He would,
even though he blasted, he still ate.
No, I know, and like he couldn't get it out. I couldn't produce it fast enough. And let me tell you, I had big ass titties, dude, and I could get I could get like 2 8-ounce bottles out of one, right? So it's not like I was not producing enough, like a normal person.
Right.
I was overproducing like a fucking cow. And that kid was just always hungry, but it's because he was shitting out everything. And then he's like, oh, I'm so hungry.
Just as fast.
So she said, well, do half bottle, half, breast milk. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And we did that. He had his first solid poop at age 3 months. And I was like, oh, I'm such a bad mom,
He was always kind of crabby too.
He was crabby.
Always had a bellyache.
Because he was gassy.
Yeah, gassy.
And wonder where he got the lactose intolerance from.
I don't know.
Not this guy.
He was born with
this
it.
guy. Yeah, from your fucking genetics. Your poor genetics.
Hey, I wasn't born with it. I ate too much to get
You acquired it?
Acquired it as a kid.
He's always a fat ass and ate everything. That's how I got lactose intolerance. No, but like it's stuff like that, right? So
sure.
I went to change him, and you grab both legs and you lift it up to wipe their butt, right? And he had already shit. So I was changing his diaper, and I went like this to wipe, and then I turned around to grab another wipe. When I turned back around, his asshole was right in front of my face and just literally shat right in my face, and they're like, oh no, diarrhea, dude.
Inside your lip.
And all I kept thinking was, this is my fucking life, dude. This is my life. I got diarrhea in my mouth. I have no sleep. I look like hell. I probably stink. I'm like, my body went to hell in a handbag. What am I doing right now? And it's at that moment I'm like, no wonder parents run away. Just a brief moment, guys. Just a brief moment. But this is to make you guys feel normal, because everybody has these thoughts. I know I did. And I am sure I had thoughts like that with the girls.
Sure.
But we were so young.
Yeah.
We were just trying to keep them alive at that point.
I think young and naive.
Yeah, exactly. No, young and dumb, dude.
Yeah.
You just keep going.
Yeah.
And with Donovan, he was the only planned one we had.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, what are we doing? We're in the home stretch. And then we went and decided to have another kid. What the hell? You know?
It had to have been 8 years later, right?
8 years later, because that's the age gap between him and
Drew.
Yeah, Donovan and Drew. Ugh, man, oh man. So that was my pivotal moment going. I know. I got him, his ass in the air with one hand, like I'm holding 2 legs. I like this, but poop dripping off my face and my lips and on my teeth. And I was like, help! Help!
I need a wipe.
Yeah, I was like, and then they come running in, and I just like, and then Donovan's upside down going, ah!
He's crying.
He's crying. I'm crying. It was a hot mess, dude. It was really, really bad. So, today we're going to talk about like losing your identity, and like what you sacrifice and what people don't tell you in that, what to expect when expecting. I read 2 of those books and nowhere in those fucking books told you any of this stuff on things that no one warned you about.
That your kid was going to shit in your mouth?
Yeah. Hey, buckle in. Chin up, buttercup. We got so much in store for you. So one of the biggest things that really crushed my identity, and I've talked about this, you guys, I've had an eating disorder from being a competitor cheerleader and a dancer. When you have kids, it just makes it worse. So just so you know, so trigger warning, I'm just letting you guys know what some of these things we're going to talk about. And one of them is just your body image. So much changes when you have a kid.
Yeah.
And for me, which I didn't know until I had Donovan, and I think we've talked about this before, when I was pregnant with Donovan, looking back now, I went into a deep depression before he was born. And I don't know why. Because we planned him, I was excited. We found out he was going to be a boy. Like everything was going great. Like careers were going great. Everything was great. And then I don't know why, but I looking back now, I'm like, oh, that was depression. You know what I mean? And like my chest hurting is, I thought because I worked too hard. No, it's called anxiety, you dumb bitch. And I found that out the hard way too. So it's like things that they don't tell you, like when you do have a baby, is like how much your body changes. And then it's also like, we've grown up with skinny people and like, this is how you're supposed to look. And a size 0 is a flex and all that shit. And guess what? It's not. It's not. Your body's going to change. Yeah. But here's how I look at it. And by the way, it took me a long time to realize this. And it took a lot of self-work with therapy and podcasts and stuff like that. Like your body is a machine, dude. It's so fucking cool if you look at it like this.
Yeah.
Right? I carried 3 humans in my body. I produced 3 humans, you guys. That's crazy in what your body can do.
I know.
So the stretch marks, those are like fucking war wounds, man.
Battle wounds.
Battle wounds. And gaining weight around your hips. You have to. If you're gonna push out another human, dude, your body's gotta be ready. So it prepares itself. So when you look back at that, so if you're going through this right now, if you're pregnant right now, or you've had a baby and you're like, I just can't lose this baby weight and my kid's 7 years old. Who cares? It's okay. You know what I mean? Because here's what I do know. I obsessed about that so much. I missed out on so much.
Right.
I didn't go to parties. I didn't do this. I didn't do that because I was used to looking a certain way, and it really, really rocked my shit.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But then as you get older and you start realizing, hey man, my body made 3 fucking kick-ass humans, then who cares about the stretch marks? Right?
Yeah.
And
it's
stuff like
easy. As easy as it sounds, I know it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, in still work in progress, right? I nowhere near your body changing, obviously, because you carrying the baby for 9+ months, right? But I also remember mine changing too after having the baby, eating up all the leftovers and not really all my stuff that I did personally to keep in shape or whatever went out the window because there was no time for that because we have to squeeze in time because we have a kid and he has to be taken care of and fed and so I started
those entitled little bitches.
So I noticed myself getting out of shape and getting big and not really caring more about it was all about. My focus was more on the kids, especially Donovan.
Right.
8 years later, it was like starting all over, which was fine. It wasn't a big deal. I noticed it too.
Yeah.
For myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're so tired from working all day, taking care of kids, bathing them, feeding them, keeping them alive, putting them down to bed.
Yeah.
I'm not working out. I'm ordering DoorDash and I'm ordering comfy food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, here's how I look at it too. Like when you get to that point or when you notice that your body's changing or whatever, and like obsessing about how you used to look is just going to weigh on you, dude. It's never going to. No. And by the way, why do we want to look like we were 15 again? Like our bodies, like, I don't know, man. I like my curves and I like my muscles and I like, so, that's just a sidebar, but you lose your identity. At least I did when I had kids, especially when it came to body image.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, because it's not about you anymore. It's about the kid. and us being so young and having kids so young and being so naive, that was the focus.
Yeah.
And everything else just went by the wayside.
Dude, our kids were like, well, Dason and Drew were born in the 90s, man. I was wearing low-rise jeans for shit's sake. Don't you dare bring those back. I heard they're on their way back. Don't you dare bring them back. But you know, and you look at that and you go, oh, whoa, woe is me. You know what I mean? But it's like you progress and you there's an evolution, right?
Yeah.
And if you look at it with a positive view in that regard, then it's not going to weigh as much on you.
No.
And you're going to be nicer to yourself. And then you're going to take your fitness for you, not because you want to look a certain way.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed too, when the girls were younger, you were great at keeping them up to date with how they dressed and trying to keep them, not necessarily, it was more, so the focus became the kids. And so the kids were trying to build identities, and we were working on their young minds, and everything we had, I don't want to say we dreamt of all our lives, but everything we had planned kind of got put on hold. Right. So your identity shifts humongously once these kids come into the picture, because you're no longer working on yourself. You're working on these young minds, and and I could see a lot of, now that we're older, I could see a lot of you in the girls as they were growing older, because you're like molding them and you're not forcing them, but like teaching them ways and so they can create their own identities, which was interesting as I'm talking about it, because I never really looked at it that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't have an identity, but good on you guys. You guys get to have one all by yourselves. And I say that facetiously, but this is to all my moms and my parents out there, even dads who are single parents or whatever. Like, it's, when you look at it from the grand scheme of things, right? This is what you want. Like, if you're a good parent, you want your kids to be bigger, better, faster, make more money, more successful, smarter than you. You want them to be everything that you're not plus more, right? Because at least that's how we raised our kids, right?
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, it's okay to think, well, fuck, I gave everything to my kids and I ended up with nothing for a quick moment. Then you got to pull your shit together and go, hey man, this is what it's all about.
In other words, you're human.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
human if that's what those thoughts cross your mind. You're human if that's how you thought, even if it was for a split second.
Even if you thought for a quick second, what if I just went out that door and never came back? What would they do?
Don't say that.
What? It's true. I'm speaking the truth. I didn't do it, but I thought about it. What if I just took off, started a whole new life? And then I heard, Drew crying and I'm like, ooh, but she's so cute. Okay, never mind. You get tired and then you start thinking weird shit, man. You know what I mean? So you are human, right?
But then, and then you look at them and you go, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then you feel guilty. I'm a bad parent. Why did I try to run away?
Why did
I think about that? But see, then you never win, right? So they steal your motherfucking identity. And when they're in your body, they take all your vitamins. So now you got all these ailments. I have anemia now. Now I have this. Now, girl, you're always giving. Come on. Right? So these are the things that you think of. And we're here to tell you, hey, that shit's normal. As long as you don't act on it, that's just normal. Right? You can think it, use your inner voice, right? Think it and
keep
then
it to yourself.
Yeah, and think it and then get back to work. Right? It's totally normal. And you know what? Honestly, this can be applied to like anything.
Sure.
If you're a caretaker for a parent that's, has a sickness, maybe a grandparent, taking care of someone else in and of itself is daunting. Right. But it is rewarding because you love that person. You want to take care of that person. You know what I mean? So,
and it's like it's basically a sacrifice.
Yeah.
On your part.
100% it is.
No matter what it is, you're sacrificing on your part to give to others. And naturally it's supposed to make you feel good.
And I'm still waiting for that part to come. Just kidding. And I mean, facetious, you guys, but it does, like when I think back to how
does weigh on your bed. Ooh-wee.
That is a cross to bear, my friends. Especially throwing a full-time job. right? And then with us, we wanted to make sure our girls were successful in life and stayed out of trouble. So we put them in every motherfucking sport we could think of, and activities and book clubs and all kinds of shit, right?
Just kept them busy.
But it was, the whole premise was, it's all about them now. It's not about us. But no one told us, hey, it's okay for you to take time for yourself.
Exactly.
And it's okay for you not to feel guilty about it. And we'll get into that in a minute. But like, when I was talking about, when you were talking about the guy geeking out about your muscles when we were shopping, I went to Hollister because I was trying to, buy stuff to like go on our trip or whatever. And I haven't bought clothes for myself in, I don't know, how long, years. And I remembered, I was telling Tanya at the gym, I was like, I remembered how much, and I greatly remembered, like really fast, how much I hate trying on clothes in a public dressing room.
I remember us talking about that.
And it hit me hard, and it hit me fast how like uncomfortable and how much I hated it. And when I was looking in the mirror, I was looking at all the things that I hated about myself, like my body image, right? Even though I've been working my ass off for these last 2 months, well, a lot, but like more really focused on like eating and stuff like that, taking out gluten out of my diet and all this other shit. But I'm looking at it, and I've made a lot of progress. I've like made a lot of progress. And then I'm looking at the mirror going, God, I wish I had this, or why do I look like that? Oh, this sucks. These, nothing fits or whatever. It's either too big or too small, whatever. And then I thought, who fucking cares, dude? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy this and I'm going to buy that. And it doesn't fit me like I thought it was going to, but it still fits. And I think I look cute in it. Fuck it, let it rip.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All that to say, that goes back to the body image. Of I used to joke to Donovan, but now I don't because he's older, and I'd be like, you ruined me, man. After I had Dason and Drew, I still had a 6-pack, and I was still competing in cheerleading in college. But you ruined me. No, he didn't ruin me. And I joke, and he knows I'm joking, but it was the full-time job that ruined me. I lost my identity for a while there too. Jesus Christ. But anyway, the sacrifices that they don't teach you or tell you about are the ones we're talking about now. Like we would go without eating so the kids could eat until our next paycheck. This is when we were really young and dumb,
Yeah, we would sign them up for their sports activity and hold off on eating too.
We don't have McDonald's monies. We only have McDonald's money for these guys, these motherfuckers.
So we'd take them to McDonald's and just buy them McDonald's and just sit with them.
Yeah, and then we'd eat at home. Yeah. And then they were like, why aren't you eating? And we're like, oh my God, we ate before we even took you to McDonald's. Yeah. And then Drew the know-it-all. No, you didn't. When did you go there? And I'm all, shut up. Eat your stupid nuggets. That smells so delicious. But yeah, so like, some of the other sacrifices that we talk about all the time is like when you have goals and dreams, right? You have goals and dreams of your own. Yeah. And then you have kids and it kind of pivots, right? You got to pivot. And that can weigh on you. Yeah. Like, don't be that guy. Oh, I could have been a professional baseball player if I didn't have this kid. Yeah. Don't be that asshole. No. But it's okay to think it for a sec and then get your shit together, right?
So what did we? I know what we did do in that aspect to still focus on you and the kids was you went to school at the same time. Remember when they were super young and you got them into the school program where we could. So you're learning to kind of do it both at the same time, even though there was a lot of sacrifices earlier. But this wasn't until they were able to go to school. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. And I remember us working on that, and I remember also thinking at the same time. Not knowing we're going to be talking about this years later, but like, I'm glad she's working on herself too, not just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I had to, because I'm like, I wasn't even thinking about, I'm going to improve myself. I was thinking, how the fuck can I get some degrees so I can make more money for these these little crumb snatchers? Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the same thing goes for me, where I never would have played football if you hadn't told me, hey man, we got kids. We got to get a career going. This is the fastest way you can get in there. Yeah. Get to college at least.
But again, it goes back to, it wasn't a goal.
No, it was not.
It was a way. It was a means to an end. To make
kids.
money.
Yeah, for
right?
the kids.
So for the kids again. Yeah. But our whole thing is, listen, you're going to lose your identity for a hot second. But just know that going in, or know that now, and go, oh, so I'm not crazy. No, you're not. This is totally normal. We went through all of it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You name it, we did it.
Yeah. And like, man, I remember like dressing down as soon as I had kids. Like I dressed like I worked at fucking Banana Republic, and I'm like 18, 19. Like, what the hell? you know, and it wasn't until years later. And then I went into corporate
Sure.
so that I continued that bullshit.
Yeah.
And then when I retired myself,
Yeah.
after I retired you, it was like, wait a minute, I missed out on all the young.
Yeah.
I missed out on the hoe phase, man. What the fuck? So now I like want to wear clothes that I think are fun, you know? And I mean, I'm still age appropriate for the most part, but sometimes I want to wear,
Sure.
you know, cute shorts or whatever. Anyway, all that to say, like, you lose yourself when you have kids, and that's normal. And it's okay to know that your evil thoughts, as long as you don't act on them, it's normal.
It's normal. It's
right?
fine.
And it doesn't mean you don't love your kids.
No.
It means, give me a second.
It means you're weak for a second.
Yeah.
You got a weak moment.
Yep.
And that's okay.
And you know what? Stay in your car a half hour longer. You pull up in the driveway, stay in your car, eat your fries. It's fine. You don't have to share them.
When the kids go to bed, take that shot of tequila.
Yeah, exactly. Shit. Then you got to get creative. And once you start doing that, right? Once you start doing that, then you're going to figure it out, right? So we just wanted to tell you a little bit of the things that people don't warn you about. When you do have kids, or if you're planning on having kids. And, you know, we're saying all this shit in jest, but like having these kids is the best thing that ever happened to us.
It's a blessing in disguise.
And like you just navigate through it. But we're here to remind you that your cray-cray is totally normal, right? If you're hiding in the pantry, eating the last cookie, or hiding it because you don't want those fucking little crumb snatchers to eat your last cookie because you didn't have any the last time, it's okay. Go ahead and do it.
You're finally sitting down to your cold ass dinner after the kids are fed and washed and put to bed.
I don't even remember the last time I had a hot meal.
Hey man, that's just part of being it.
Yeah.
That's just, you're in it.
You're in it. And you know what? It is worth it, I promise.
Yeah.
There is light at the end of the tunnel. There is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. You just got to get there. You know, you got to work it out. But there's so many things. You're going to experience burnout.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, fuck these kids and fuck my husband. I'm leaving. You know, when your kid gets mad at you, I'm running away. They get to the end of the driveway and they're like, I'm cold. I'm hungry.
You're not going to come and get me.
Yeah. Well, fuck them kids and fuck that husband. And then I'm like, okay, just kidding. I'm done. I eat in my car in peace, listen to my Prince,
Yeah.
and I'm good. And then I have hit the reset button and go.
And then we're back to normal.
And we're back. Right? Game on. But here I want to talk about there's like a couple of solutions that we came up with. Okay. The first number one is you have to schedule you in your calendar.
So important.
If you're like us and you live and die by your calendar, like when the kids want to do something and you know, when they're older.
When they were younger too.
Yeah.
You
I'd be like,
put it in my book.
Did you put it on my calendar?
Yeah.
Because you know, they'd go on the computer and put it on my calendar. If they didn't, I go, that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You can't go to that party because I already made plans. And they're like, no. So they got real good at using Outlook, right? But you have to schedule you.
Exactly.
So if there's a block in there that says 2 hours and it just says mommy time, or it just says mommy and daddy date night, or it just says daddy time, like that's it.
That's it.
That is a non-negotiable because that's for you. It's the same way if you would make an appointment for your kids for the doctor or the pediatrician.
Yeah.
You don't fucking miss those, do you? You don't miss work most of the time, right? And so don't miss out. If you block out those 2 hours or start, if you can't do 2 hours because you have a newborn, 15 minutes, man.
Oof.
You know,
They're worth it.
get a swing, slap that kid in the swing and go take a shower in peace, you know, something like that. But you have to start scheduling it. Start off slow, 15-minute increments, 20-minute, whatever.
Yeah.
And then
it's not you being selfish, by the way. It's not you being greedy. It's you trying to find a way to reset.
Listen,
To reset. Yeah.
if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody fucking happy. Right? And you can't pour into others if your cup is empty.
Exactly.
Okay. So you have to recharge, whether it's going on a walk, uninterrupted, by the way. Okay. Going to the gym. Going to the grocery store by yourself, dude. Sometimes that was my escape. I'm going to fucking Target and no one's coming with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You did a lot of Target runs, by the way, bud.
You know,
now I know what that was.
Yeah. I was escaping your ass too. You're a needy ass. Listen, sometimes you got to do it, man. And don't feel guilty because you wouldn't feel guilty. Would you tell your friend that? Hey, you know, why are you taking time for yourself? You selfish bitch. You're not going to say that. You need time. You need to hit the reset button. Same thing for you.
That's all that is.
If you've missed out on like figuring out who you are, like, man, I used to do this. I used to love to do this. I used to love to play basketball. I used to love to go to the dance studio.
I used to love to play video games.
You pick those hobbies back up.
You can pick them up.
And then you can
put them in that block of time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And put them, or you can still have your block of time. And when those little crumb snatchers go to sleep, then you can also do other stuff, right? And that doesn't necessarily mean cleaning and catching up on everything.
Yeah.
Go fill your cup, dude.
Yeah, doing the laundry for the kids is not filling your cup.
No, it is not. Drinking a hot cup of tea and reading
a book.
Reading slutty fairy books. That's a you time thing. Yeah. So make sure you guys make time for that. The number one thing though is really letting go of the guilt. It's okay. It is not a bad thing for you to reset and take care of yourself. And that also means stop putting off those doctor's appointments that you're supposed to go to. Right? The checkups and whatever, especially for all my girls out there, right? Getting your boobs examined, getting your hoo-ha checked out every year. Like, don't put that shit off. Okay. What else? Oh, surround yourself with people who remind you of who you used to be.
Yeah. Good friends.
Good friends. Yeah. Have date nights.
Family members. Anyone that makes you feel happy.
Yeah.
Anyone that you can call having the best time with and give you good energy.
Yeah.
Those are the ones you want to block in time for yourself.
Yeah. And when you reset yourself, you're a way better fucking parent to your kids than you would be if you're burned the fuck out.
Yeah.
I promise you, right?
All these exercises we're sharing with you is for you to reset. It's not you being selfish. Again, I'm gonna say that again because I know that feeling because I felt that way when she would tell me, "Go have a good time with your friends."
Yeah.
Your
Go
friends
ride your e-bike.
Get on that e-bike and take off.
Yeah.
Like I feel guilty a lot. And she would say, just go.
Yeah.
I know why you want to go. It makes you happy. So go.
Yeah. He loves to ride bikes. So Drew bought him an e-bike years ago.
Yeah.
And I bought him this kick-ass helmet that's Bluetooth so he can hear his music in his ears and keep his noggin safe and go ride his bike around the neighborhood. That thing goes like what, 35 miles an hour?
Yeah. And I used to love it as a kid. I used to love the sound of the wind, and the feel of it. So that it just brings me back there when I do it.
So do things that bring you joy. If you knit or if you want to take a walk on the beach or whatever it is for you that's going to reset you, do it because your kids will benefit so much from that. And we're giving you permission to take care of yourself. Okay. And then the last thing is just talk to your partner or your support system. If you're a single parent and you're, close with your mom and dad or whatever, people who are helping you, right? Talk to them.
Let them know how you're feeling.
Yeah. Say, hey man, I'm on the edge, man.
Get ready to bounce.
I don't know how much longer I'm going to be around. I need someone to come help me and give me a fucking break. Watch these goddamn kids and let me go, Bebe's kids, and let me go take a Target run or go wash my hair for the first time this week or something. I'm being dead serious, right?
Take a soak in the tub.
Something, right? Put makeup on, dress up, do something, because I know when you're in that stage too, when you're in the parent stage, you're dressing like a hobo, man. Like you're like you like you haven't had a meal in 10 days and you probably haven't. So, but once in a while, man, slap some makeup on your face, brush your goddamn hair.
Use some soap in the shower.
And put some actual shoes on, not your Crocs, right? And go out. Even if you're just going to the grocery store, man. I can't even tell you how much that'll make you feel better. Just that alone.
Just that alone.
Like the other day, I was in our bathroom and I was curling my hair, and Donovan goes, "Oh, where are we going? Are you going somewhere?" And I go, "No." And he's like, "Well, what are you doing your hair and your makeup for?" Because I want to. That's why. He was like, "Oh, all right, tough crowd." But I was like, "No, I'm just doing it just because."
Makes you feel good.
And it made me feel so good. We just ran errands that day. The end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know if I dress up a little bit, it makes me feel good.
Exactly.
We go to the mall or something.
Just the little things, right? So anyway, we just wanted to tell you, you're not crazy.
No.
We were talking about identities, and let me tell you, I've had my fair share of meltdowns.
Sure.
I could have done this, and then what, and whatever. I never got to pursue my dreams. But you know what? Everything happens for a reason, and man, I wouldn't change a motherfucking thing.
No way. No way. I'm glad I hung in. I'm glad I
didn't run away from these jerks. These soul sucking jerks What are they called? The Dementors? Is that what they're called from Harry Potter? And they just suck the life out of you?
Is that what they're called?
I don't know. Who is a Harry Potter fan out there? Those like spooky black ghost thingies. Aren't they called Dementors? And they come and suck the life out of you?
It could be.
That's what kids do. They're like little Dementors running around your house. Don't let them suck the life out of you. They will. Put your soul back in by doing something you love. Go get a mani-pedi.
Replenish your soul.
Something, right? And it doesn't have to cost money. Go for a walk. Put your headphones on. Go for a walk.
Yeah.
Listen to your
I
favorite
love music too. Music and headphone always helps me too.
So,
I like to listen to loud music in my car. That helps too. No one doesn't like it, but.
Well, because he doesn't put that feature on in the car where when you get out of the car, it takes it back to a normal level automatically. So I get on and then I get in the car and he turns the car on and it blows my eardrums out. It's not safe the way you drive like that. That's fucking nutty. See? Dementor. Another Dementor.
I like it.
When people ask me how many kids I have, I say 4 if you count Tate. And now you guys know why I want to run away all the time.
I like it.
Anyway, that's our show for today, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We're so glad to be back. And we hope that this information made you feel a little bit better. And it doesn't
validated
just mean,
you.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that you have to have kids. It could be you're taking care of someone, you're taking care of a sick pet, whatever. Or maybe you're just burned out in life.
Yeah, and you need a break.
You need a break from whatever it is. Go refill your cup because you cannot pour into others if your cup is empty. Cool. And we're giving you permission to do that guilt-free.
Yes.
Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you guys for joining us. We're happy to be back and we will see you guys next week. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye. Eyeballs. People staring.
How do you know they're staring at you?
Because I catch them looking at me.
Like what?
Like looking at me.
Like how do they look at you?
Just watching me.
Like how?
Lift. Like just looking at me. Like I'm looking at you. Watching me lift. And I look at them and they look at me and they still look at me.
But you're looking at me like a creep. Is that how they're looking at you? I know you're looking at me like you're a creep. You're going like this.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good at all.
But that's the oxymoron, right?
Yeah.
You like to lift weights, you like to have muscles, but then don't look at me.
Not that.
What?
I'm not saying don't look at me. I'm just saying don't look at me like that. You could come and say what's up. You could come and be a human being and ask a question, but you don't have to stare or ogle or whatever the hell you want to call it, you know?
Is it ogle or is it oogle? It's ogle, huh?
I think it's ogle.
Oh, do I have anything in my teeth?